Hello and welcome to the stream. I am the Chris who plays games, playing retro games every Monday at 9:15 and whatever the fuck I feel like at Friday at 9:15. Welcome to the stream, Van Helsing and James. Welcome everybody else to the stream. Today we're going to be playing some Zombies Ate My Neighbors in the style and nature of Halloween. We're going to be doing that tonight. I will be not getting very far, I expect, so we'll continue to play this game for a little while. I have figured out how to beat the first 3 levels, so, you know, I'll know that I'll get at least that far. Unfortunately, Zombies Ate My Neighbors has no continues whatsoever, so there's gonna be a lot of save stating and redoing levels for save stating. I guess they do have passwords, so I guess that I can just write down passwords and that should work the same, but I haven't really worked all that out yet, so we're gonna figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Hello, Russ and Yugi. Hello, hello. Yeah, Russ decided to pop in last night when I accidentally set my stream time to be starting at midnight, and so he popped in to watch me at midnight and then found out I wasn't there. So, you know, whatever, it's all right. Now you're here. Everybody's here. We got the hat spins going on. We got everything else like that. So welcome to the stream. We'll get started. Let's get right into the news. No, the game. Let's get right into the game. Welcome, welcome. Boom. Shakalaka. I will not be wearing my Borat mankini ever. I bought it on a whim because you told me that I wouldn't, and I am not ever planning to wear it, Van Helsing. Hello, Zio Kim and everybody else. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, new sponsors. Oh, wait, no, you're not new sponsors. Welcome, new viewers. Welcome to the viewer squad. Okay, so we do have a password prompt here, so I think that I can go ahead and do that. If I die, I can do that. The box is buried under a bunch of other stuff right now, so we're not going to do that. But, yes, I did buy a mankini during a stream a few weeks ago, and it arrived, so it does exist. I have no plan to wear it, but it is there. Hello, Org Chaos. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let's pick up this guy and this guy. We'll go here. We need to rescue a baby. So the point of this game is that zombies ate my neighbors. That seems to be the entire point. There may be more story to it that I just haven't found yet, but overall it seems like the story is just like, hey, there's a bunch of neighbors and some zombies, so please do that. I did not. No, I did not even open it. I had absolutely no plans of wearing this thing ever. The reason that I bought it was the idea that you would do a mankini-based, whatever it's called, green screen. It was speaking kind of to, what's her name, Zoe Berger's green screen bikini. Same idea. You can sort of listen AWOL. Well, there you go. I mean, there's no real point. There's no real point to the screen. Hello, Brad Pritchard. Yes, you should get YouTube Red. Can you get YouTube Red? Are you US enough that you could get YouTube Red if you wanted to? Yeah, I'm interested in understanding a little bit more about the overall situation. So I've not run ads on my live streams for a long time because I make so much money off of YouTube Red. I make 90% of my revenue off the 5% of my viewers who have YouTube Red, and bothering the other 95% of people just so I can get an extra, like, you know, I don't know, I think it's actually like 40%. Like 60% of my revenue I get from 5% of my viewers, bothering the other 95% so that I can get the other 60% or 40% just seemed kind of silly and shitty. But I also, at the same time, do part of this in order to understand aspects of how streaming affects, you know, experiments on how revenue is affected by streaming, and understanding, like, what are the actual CPMs that I'm seeing, you know, what does the advertiser opt-out in AdSense for live streams actually impact, and other things like that. So it helps me to kind of better understand the overall impact of the apocalypse, blah, 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 on... Oh, no! That guy, like, ate my grandma. That's sad. I guess she's not my grandma, she's my teacher, because she's holding up, like, a "you have failed this class" sign, but I'm still sad that the zombie ate her, so... You saw ads on your YouTube Red account. You have every reason to be furious. Although did they say, like, ad, or was it just, like, popular movies on your YouTube home screen? So... Yes, absolutely, Van Helsing. That is why I bought it. You're gonna go see the commuter? I mean, I think that YouTube Red for me is worth it just for no ads, but I realize that not everyone is upset about ads as I am. So I mean, I'm assuming that she gave me the F before. Like, these people seem to be somewhat oblivious. Like, these tourists are just standing there taking pictures of the zombie apocalypse. So I'm kind of assuming that my teacher is just not with it as a person, rather than she's explicitly giving me an F during the zombie apocalypse. But, you know, everything remains to be seen. I could be misinterpreting that. Alright, get out of here. So the soda cans are explosive. So that's one of the weapons I can use, is that I can throw these explosive soda cans. I don't exactly know why soda cans are explosive, but you know, we'll just go with what we got. Alright, I don't like these babies. They're really fast and they throw things at me. But I'm just gonna pick up all this stuff here. They also take like 7 hits, so. Oh god. Oh, I wonder. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. So with casting stuff, I'm always confused because like your login information has to be propagated, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And so like most of the bugs that I've seen with YouTube Red ads being shown have related to casting in some way. And a lot of the times it's like, oh, this request was unauthenticated, and so it didn't know that you had YouTube Red and stuff like that, which is terrible. Like as a user, it's absolute garbage, but as a developer, I'm like, oh my god, why do we have such a complex software stack that no one can freaking understand ever? So I sort of get it, even though I don't think it's appropriate at all. I have not tried the Coke with Mentos things. As someone whose entire like web development history has been funded by, you know, advertising basically, like, okay, when I worked at WeDo and I worked for a an advertising firm, I will admit that I made money off of corporations that did not use ads. Like your hospital, like Catholic Medical Center, does not use ads on their videos. I will admit this, but overall, most things that I have been advertising driven. Oops. Alright, well, that's fine. So with that in mind, it is kind of difficult for me to feel like it would be ethical for me in particular, not for any person, but for me in particular, to use an ad blocker, because I feel like that would be kind of hypocritical. But I mean, people use them. I don't have a problem with other people in general, but it's just not. Overall, my position is if I can't deal with the ads, I shouldn't consume the content, you know? I do understand that there are safety issues with ads and privacy issues with ads and all these other kind of issues that make, you know, it understandable to me why people don't agree with that, but just for my personal position is that, so. So blocking third-party cookies shouldn't be a problem, AWOL, but I'm not gonna say for sure it's not. But you shouldn't be like on your Chrome, like the thing that needs to be logged in is your Chromecast, and your Chromecast cookies to YouTube shouldn't be third-party. It should all be first-party cookies as far as I know. So I won't rule anything out ever because software is complex and there are problems, but I wouldn't expect it. Hello, Eureka Radio Fire! Welcome to the stream. I'm the Chris who plays games, playing some Zombies Ate My Neighbors tonight. I did an experiment earlier today. I actually uploaded a few minutes of Zombies Ate My Neighbors gameplay onto my channel as a VOD in an attempt to inform people that I would be playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I have no idea if it was effective or not because I think I got like 8 views, so I don't think many people were going to pick up on that from that, but that was an idea I had. I'm always experimenting, you know, I'm always trying to try out new things and see if they work. I think that I can declare that one at least not a success yet. It doesn't mean it's a failure in total, but needs more consideration, so. That is totally true, Org Chaos. I definitely on social watching you have to allow third-party cookies, and in Safari I feel like in the older version of Safari I have, it's basically I think impossible to do that, and so yeah, like I can't use my social watching thing in Safari 9. Maybe I have something disabled that I just totally forgot disabling, but I don't remember disabling anything like that, and I can't use chat in Safari 9. I have to use Chrome instead, so but it works in Safari 10 on my other machines, so that kind of suggests it's probably local config rather than just like Safari doesn't let you do that, so. You like that, AWOL? I like it. We've been doing it every Friday. You're usually out drinking with friends or Butt Pan Man, but we have been doing it basically every Friday, and it's been pretty cool. All right. I don't know where these things are. So one of the problems with this is there's no mini-map. So there's no... Oh, there is a mini-map. Okay. Well, there you go. So are those enemies, or are those... They move with me. I'm like sitting here saying there's no mini-map, and then I push the button, like the one button I haven't pushed on the controller, and it's the mini-map button. Alright, that's much easier. I did not do very well at rescuing people that time. Yeah, no, I can. VHRV. Okay, so I only get a password like every 4 levels. Okay, so password VHHRV. Hello, Matzo Gaming. Long time no see. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome, welcome. So for those of you who are new here, feel free to hang out, have fun, ask questions if you'd like, although try not to make it, I'm just going to ask questions and not, you know, give you any response when you give answers, because I find that kind of frustrating. But I always like to talk about myself or about what I do. I am a software developer by day, a game player by night, so I work at Google on YouTube's video infrastructure team, making sure that videos play without buffering to the best of my ability. This does not mean that I can necessarily fix your live stream, but it does mean that I'm probably the best person on the planet, given appropriate debug information, to tell you why your video just buffered, which is kind of a cool / dubious claim. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's neat. Why would you want to be that guy? The answer to which is, of course, I have no idea why I want to be that guy, but I like to tell people things that they don't know. That's true, Matt. So you haven't been here since I went to Sponsorships Land. I know that. I remember that because I remember when you sponsored somebody else, and I was like, oh, I remember him. I haven't seen him for a while. So that's what I remember. Things like that. Hello. Yeah. Tomorrow, Jess is having surgery on her foot. She is understandably a little bit freaked out about the prospect of going in for surgery. So tonight will be probably a little bit of a rough night for her. So keep her in your thoughts, everyone, so that she can have a super successful surgery tomorrow with no problems whatsoever. And yeah, it's gonna be okay. I know it's gonna be okay. Okay, so I have 3 left. I'm gonna change away from that weapon. Alright, grab that. Oh, shit. Wasn't paying attention and ran into purple stuff. Alright, I got plates. That's good. Because everyone knows you need dinner plates for everything. Where's this guy? Down here? Alright, get out of here. Oh, God. Okay. Got lots of keys. Ah, okay. Swimming guy. Grab swimming guy. Cool. I cannot fix everything. I'm good at fixing video playback issues. Yeah, so I mean, it's actually difficult for me to reasonably tell her everything is going to be okay and easy, because she actually has a lot of issues with anesthesia in the past. So she has problems with like anesthesia awareness, and she has problems with other things like that. So it is reasonable for her to be afraid. Her foot is also very, you know, not well off, and she was warned she might have to have a second surgery, and she also was told today by the insurance company that apparently the normal process for handling injuries of this type is to do the initial relocation of joints within like 24 hours, within like 6 hours, like in the ER. So the fact that they didn't do that, the insurance company is denying their payment, because they're like, oh no, we don't think that was necessary, so we're not gonna like pay for that service. And it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I need. My wife, who's going into surgery tomorrow, to be told the doctors that you previously worked with are utterly, like, did an utterly poor job. That's exactly what she needs the night before surgery. So I got that going on. So that was the doctors in Illinois who were not able to do a CAT scan until the next day, at which point the swelling had been significant, and therefore they were unable to do anything other than a reduction or relocation or whatever they're called. Get out of here. don't like these guys that take multiple hits to kill. Hello, Angelic Innovation. Hello, Mr. 32. That's true, the sponsor button does not exist on iOS. One of the reasons for that, of course, is that, you know, anytime you're talking about doing in-app purchasing on iOS, you've got some complexities with exactly how you handle it, right? So for YouTube Red, for example, YouTube actually just charges more for the YouTube Red subscription if you buy it on iOS. So the button is there, but if you buy your YouTube Red subscription, it will be $13 a month instead of $10, and it will be that way forever, even though it's exactly the same service, because Apple charges a 30% rate on their payment system on the phones. And I understand why Apple charges that. Doing carrier billing, for example, is a huge win for people who want to have in-app purchases. They're basically providing a payment platform for you in the same way that, you know, Android's, you know, games library is, or other things like that. But it's kind of difficult when you're doing that on top of something that already has like a revenue sharing agreement. So with like YouTube creators, right, you've got people who are already giving up 30% of their revenue to the sponsorships cut, which is better than Twitch, but still, you know, it's an amount. When you give me $5, I only see $3.50 of it. Like that's a thing that is kind of shitty. If you gave me $5 and I only saw like, you know, $2.20 of it or something like that, that's even worse. So having Apple take that down to $3.50 and then I only see like $2 is kind of like, ugh, that sucks. So yeah, zombies are eating my neighbors. You should be able to do it via the browser or Chaos, yeah. And yes, YouTube Red is not yet available in the UK. In January or late December of last year, we did actually say we would be doing that in 2017. I have seen neither hide nor hair in any public announcement that indicates that that is still happening, but I assume it is, because, you know, we would never say something and then not be able to follow through in exactly a timely manner. That would never happen on a major website like YouTube, to which I am, of course, being facetious. It does happen at times, unfortunately. But yeah, so I don't know if it's still happening, but I had heard that we were going to do that, which would be cool, because I think that I could use more people paying my bills. No, I'm just kidding. I do, like, for live streams especially, the difference between, you know, ad revenue and YouTube Red revenue is so significant that it really makes a big difference in actual revenue generation. Like I said, the 5% of my viewers who have YouTube Red generate on a fully monetized live stream something like 60% of my revenue. So getting a 10-to-1 return from live stream viewers on YouTube Red is definitely one of those. That seems like a good thing. I can get behind that. So Matzo Gaming, I think that, hello, Mad Weasel. So I think after a new iPhone is announced, the older iPhones get slower because at that point, Apple changes what they're targeting for their primary platform, right? The platforms that you are testing and developing for are obviously likely to continue to be maintained at reasonable speeds and everything else like that, whereas the platforms that are no longer your primary platforms are going to get slower. Now, I don't think that it's as simple as oh, they want to screw people, so they just make it slower. I think it's more likely that it's something like, you know, oh, well, we're going to use new features that on newer phones are fast, but on older phones are slow. And so when we have the software, by default, it's going to get slower. It doesn't mean that we're doing it on purpose. It just means that, you know, that's the end result of having this happen. Hello, LJ Artistic Intentions. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I mean, in AWOL, you do have to keep in mind that, like, we're talking about pennies here. You know, I make on a good day 50 or 60 cents for a YouTube live stream. You know, I make more in, you know, more from a single sponsor. I guess if a single sponsor watched every one of my live streams for 4 hours, I would make about the same from them sponsoring as I do from YouTube Red. But to me, like, YouTube Red is nice, not because of the literal money that I get, but because it feels so much better to have that revenue be higher per user. It feels so much better to be like, oh, I feel like this is actually a thing that people are going to get revenue out of. And it helps support the overall platform and other creators who are not doing this just for, you know, an audience of 20. And to me, that's really what's important. That's what's really the interesting part of that. So, well, so the Xbox app is I think the YouTube, I mean, I don't know about Xbox versus Xbox 360 versus all these things, right? But I do know that on most platforms these days, we actually don't update the app. We just update the server side bits of it. And so like the YouTube app on consoles should be like regularly updated. And so we're constantly changing the server side to have things like better support and rendering to, you know, include the server side support for all these different things we're doing without having you ever update your app. Now, I don't think that there's been a lot of changes in the look and feel of the servers, the YouTube TV, you know, interface. But if it's the same interface as you would see at tv.youtube.com, then that is the interface that is on all of our TVs. So, I don't know if it's RPG-esque. I would say it is just an isometric. I mean, platformer is not really the right word, and neither is run and gun, but something like that. All right, get out of here, mummy. I don't like you. Okay, so I've been down here. Where the hell are all these things? So. Yes, single sponsor or a single shirt removal request. You're correct. We're not doing any shirt removal requests at this time of night, but maybe later tonight we'll get into that. Well, that did not go well. I bazookaed myself right into a zombie. Well done. Spiky hair running gun. There you go. So Matzo, YouTube Red and sponsored would give me even more money. But yeah, generally speaking, I make about 6 cents per watch hour from people who watch on YouTube Red. So, you know, every hour you watch, and this is true not just of me, this is true of all content. Basically, when you're on YouTube, for every hour of YouTube you watch, you're probably paying your creators about that much. All right, I'm going to scroll up and find my password here, which I said was VRVH. RV. And that worked. Okay. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Weird kids on the block. Yeah, so, because there's not a, because there's not a password on every level, I will start save stating when I complete levels. Especially if it feels like I've done decently on them. But yeah, so those sources of revenue are totally separate. Yeah. Hail to the hop thief. AWOL is what you should order. Alright. Get out of here. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious this time, and also, now that I've found my map, I can actually find these things a little bit easier. So I'll go ahead and grab this guy. Oh yeah, I emulate everything, LJ Artistic Intentions. My thought is basically like, it is much more fun to see more of the level rather than to see me bang my head against things all the time. So my goal here is to be an entertainer, not to be a perfectionist or anything else like that. So I want you guys to see, you all to see new content. I want you to see, you know, more things rather than the same thing over and over. And so I always try and, you know, show that off by save stating my way to glory. Alright. Some people speed run, I speed cheat. This would be on the, is this on the SNES Classic? I feel like maybe it is. I'm wondering if that's why it was in my head, is because it is on the SNES Classic. I actually have a SNES Classic, but I haven't sat down and set it, even hooked it up. I got it right before Jess broke her foot, and it's just been, like, for obvious reasons, I think, not the top of my to-do list. Alright, let's use this weed whacker to get through here. We'll pick up my teacher here. Get out of here. Get out of here. And my other person's gonna be up here. Hello, Jose. I feel like I have had the Hail to the Hop Chief, but I don't actually like IPA. IPAs, so I don't actually have a suggestion because I enjoy them, either one of them, but that's the one that I feel like I've heard before, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of beers out there that have similar names, so I like how I was very quick to answer, but I was very slow to answer about it, so yeah, well, I am saving my neighbors before the zombies eat them, I think is the point here. So the idea would be that maybe I don't want the zombies to eat my neighbors, although the teacher that gave me an F, I kind of feel like she could go. Not really feeling like I need to be super aggressive about saving her. But, you know, that's fine. Where's my... How do I save state? Oh, there we go. I hate ones that don't have, like, a keyboard shortcut for save stating. I mean, she's a pretty cranky-looking old lady, but I'm still gonna say it's almost certainly deserved. Like, look at this kid. He's got spiky hair, he's got 3D glasses, and he's not in any kind of 3D watching environment, so clearly this is done for style and not substance. And the kind of person who wears 3D glasses for style is not the kind of person who I think is doing really well in school on any given day. Yeah, I'm gonna tend to agree on the deserved. But yeah, you know me. I'm a fan of wheat beers. I'm a fan of ciders. I'm a fan of goses and sour ales and other things like that. So anything that isn't that is pretty much not my scene. So all of my recommendations on things like IPAs are pretty much just, you know, random guesses. F for fantastic. I mean, fantastic is what I am, but I'm not really a member of the Fantastic Four or anything, so I don't think that's probably the reason. But you never know. You know, some people have different opinions. Let's... Oh, shit. Well. Meant to do that. Alright, one more. Where are you, my friend? And there we go. Excellent. I did much better that time. IPA in this case is a type of beer and not the format for whatever. Does drinking it... Hello, Atticus Finchkid Esquire. Are you a lawyer now? Did you graduate lawyer school? I feel like maybe I actually heard that you did. Dr. Tongue's Castle of Terror. Oh no! Well, I guess that means you're gonna order the other one. Van Helsing, I mean, is it really gonna be a problem that your guns are gonna get mixed up with hers? Like, can you not keep track of which guns are yours? Because I feel like that's I don't know. I mean, I think that we all know that my level of comfort with guns is not very close to Van Helsing's level of comfort with guns, so I should not be surprised that perhaps he has enough guns that he would lose track of which ones are his. But, I don't know. It just seems like maybe at some point... Oh no! They got my neighbor! See? Zombies ate my neighbor. There you go. That's the name of the game, and they just did it. Just proving they could, it turns out. Second Amendment is for chumps. We should ban it. We should get rid of it. We should buy back all the handguns. We should ban semi-automatic weapons. We should disarm the police and everybody else. Guns are bad. But I realized that in the meantime, the Second Amendment sadly gives significant protections to people who have guns, and I cannot argue that the Second Amendment is not, you know... Oh god! That thing was scary looking. There's like a Cthulhu in there. Shit, another one. That's not good luck. I wanted to have, like, you know, cool guns, but no. I just gotta keep using my water gun, so... Hello, Chris GC8. Alright, so I'm a little bit lost. There's like gotta be some part of this level I'm missing. Let's just double check I'm not missing anything over here. I do have a bunch of keys. I have like 12 keys. So I've got plenty to do something with, but I don't know what I want to do with them. Because, you know, I don't actually use that. Viking horns to all your guns. Yes. Clearly Viking horns added to all Van Helsing's guns and not his niece's would be... I mean, it's fair to have her own gun case. I shouldn't like speak against that because I think it encourages, you know, appropriate treatment of guns as weapons of, you know, as tools that can be used for killing, which is what they are. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I totally agree, Chris GC8. I would try and explain to the zombies why they should stop, you know, eating people, and I don't think that would go super well. So, okay, that's the trick. I have to walk through the fire, and I got a bunch of keys now, so this is fine. Go ahead and grab this while I'm here. Not ideal, but it'll do, and out we go. Yeah, I mean, I do think guns are necessary. You know, I've talked a little bit with a friend who lives in the South, and he was talking about how guns are necessary for them because, like, killing warthogs in the area is actually very important. But... Oh, shit. Wow, that is a giant toddler. That feels problematic in, like, many ways. I don't know how I feel about this giant toddler! Okay, giant toddler squishes me. Good. Good to know. Yep, alright, fine. We're all good here. Avoid giant toddler. Yep, alright. I mean, he definitely is. There's no doubt. Okay, I guess I probably can't go through there until I kill the giant toddler. Titanic toddler, here I come. Oh, I kind of attacked it, but then I got myself squished, which was not super effective. Do I have, oh, how do I use this button? How many hits does a stupid giant toddler take? I mean, I assume that he's been infected with, like, some kind of zombie-related gigantism. but I have no evidence to support that claim. Okay, like, if this guy can take a full set of hits from that, there is a good chance that I'm using the wrong approach in some way. So perhaps there is something that I can do other than just attacking this kid, which is going to be helpful. I mean, there is health here. There's a key here. I don't know if I'm missing something. Oh, fuck. I'm stuck on a wall. Get out of here. Like, what am I missing? Is there like, those are all bricks, so I can't just blast through them with my bazooka. Is there anything south of the border here? Okay, so I've got a bunch of keys. I don't have anything else that's very helpful at this point. I don't know what to do with this giant baby! Giant baby, you need to die! Give me some, like, weapon or something. Are we gonna make the hogs pay for it, Chris GC8? Alright, think. What else can I do? It moves so fast, too, so it's not like I can just, like... Alright. Finally. So that was a really bad... Well, I'm hopeful I'm gonna get a password after this. So if I get a password after this, it won't matter much, because then I can just continue from the password. But if I don't get a password, I'm gonna have to go back and try that level again, because I just lost, like, all of my items and all of my health. Alright. NBGW. NBGW. And NB George W. Bush. Hello, Mr. 32. Alright. Put the baby in a giant microwave. See, that would have been a good plan. I should have gone with that one. Alright. Uh-oh. I am slimed. Can I get these things off my head? Can I not? I assume I can. Just gonna keep doing this until it kills me. Oh, there we go. Okay, those things are just invincible. And they throw stuff at my head. So that's great. That's exactly what I needed. When I woke up this morning, I said, you know what I really want? I want something to throw slime on my head. That is very important to me, that I get something throwing slime on my head, so... Yeah, I feel like the zombies are no longer my biggest concern, in fact. I would say that the giant babies, also this kind of toxic sludge that is in many of these ponds that I'm swimming through, I feel like that's also a significant issue. You know, overall, I'm not, like, if I was gonna pick the problems, I'm not sure zombies would be the first on the list. Like, everything in this town is attempting to kill me, is perhaps closer to the truth that I would choose. Alright, now I'm gonna die, which is fine. Well, I just scroll up. There's only one me, and I don't talk that much, so... You know, Oni, I feel like for enough money, those types of things can be arranged, even as an adult. There is actually, I think, a company that makes a business of doing things like that, for grown-ups. Alright. See, yeah, in this case especially, AWOL, I knew I was about to die. And so putting it in is helpful because that way I just died and I can just look it up. It's interesting there's no A. They have B, C, D, no E, F, G, H, J, K, no I. They have no vowels. Okay, took me a bit, but I got it. No vowels. Oh, I know why they have no vowels. They have no vowels because... Why isn't a vowel? Yes, I look different to myself as well. Yes, I have the yellow crown. But yes, no vowels because that way you can't make swear words. So they can do random permutations without having to add like a swear word detector, because if you get rid of all the vowels, then you don't have swear words. There was an O? It might have been a 0. You sure there was an O? Zeo Kim, your name isn't real. I think we've established this. No one can type your name in chat because it's not a real name. Oh shit, that was the wrong button. Oh no, I don't have any weed whackers because I died. Oh, there's one. Okay. I was like, where the hell's my weed whacker? Why is not a vowel? Sorry. What was that noise? Oh, someone killed one of my neighbors. Excellent. Now I don't have to rescue that neighbor. Problem solved. I wonder if, like, you rescue 0 of your neighbors if you still get to exit the level, or if you have to save at least one of them. Like, if you just, like, move close enough to your neighbors to have the various zombies / alien things kill all of them, is that actually doing what you're supposed to be doing? Does that win you the game, or is that considered insufficient? Alrighty here. I got one more, and it's way down at the bottom. Way down south. Alright. Ah! Get away from me. Alright, there she goes. Thank you very much, cheerleader. I am out of here. Audi 9000. I did file a bug, Zeo Kim. We did figure out why. Meh. That's all I could say. I'm sorry. I wish that I had enough, like, influence on that process to step it up. But of all the problems that I have in my daily life, all of the things that I think YouTube is screwing up, that one's, as much as I love you, that one's not high on my list to spend karma on. Hello, Bradley Barrels. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you have a lovely night. I guess. I think that's what I have to say at this point, because you're only here to say hi? I don't know. Are you saying you don't know if it's sufficient, Brad, or you don't know what? I don't know which thing you don't know. From your comment, I would expect you don't really care about these neighbors, and so therefore you have no problem if I don't actually rescue them, which I think is a totally reasonable perspective to take on the problem. Get out of here. Stupid kid throwing axes at me. Weed whacker you to death. I'm gonna run out of weed whackers. Oh, these kids duck underneath my frickin' bazookas? Fine. I'll soda can you to death then. Yeah, the small babies throwing axes, I guess, actually would even be more concerning to me than most of the other enemies. Like, these guys don't seem like they're aliens, they don't seem like they're anything else. They just seem like they're babies with axes. And I want to know exactly how babies got axes. I want to know, you know, I want to know more about the situation, because I feel like it's flawed. I don't fully understand how we got here, I just know that it's not a place I want to be. Oh, fucking hell. See, these are the questions. Now you're asking the right questions, Chris GCA. I agree. Who gave these babies axes? Who thought that was a good idea? I will admit that they appear to, after you kill them, turn into strange fire monsters. So maybe they aren't babies at all. They're just aliens disguising themselves as babies. But that doesn't actually answer any questions either. Like, of the answers that could be had, that doesn't actually add much to them. All right, we got this one, and we got. How do I? What? There's another person down there. Babies, kill my neighbor. I don't care about rescuing them. Just kill them, please. No, not gonna work. Fine. Fine, I will go try and rescue my neighbor. You're just gonna kill her anyway as soon as I get close, but whatever. Jeez Louise. Yeah, they can't have guns. They can have axes, but no guns for these babies. We need to have age-appropriate weapons here. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly. I think a game theory on what the fuck is going on in Zombies Ate My Neighbors would actually be entertaining. Not that I think it would be accurate in any way, but game theory isn't, so... Oh, they're dolls, you think? I mean, isn't this isometric, Oni? I don't know. Maybe I don't know about isometric, but I think of this view as being isometric. Do I have any bazooka? Yeah. Okay, well, it worked. They killed them. I'm in a doll factory? Oh, okay. Weeds gone bad. Oh wait, bad. Weeds gone bad. Alright, let's switch back to my normal weapon that I have a few more of. Who the fuck gave dolls axes? Chris GCA, I think that is an excellent question to which there can be no meaningful answer, unfortunately. Oops. Ow. Get out of my way, weeds. Yeah, so the problem here is that I just ran out of Weed Whacker. I was like, I got this, fam. But now I don't got it. I don't got it at all. In fact, I might even say I will not got it. Using all of my Weed Whacker on those dolls was dumb. I mean, it was somewhat effective, but oh yeah, now all the weeds double. That seems good. Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely we're not doing so great. So I don't remember if I did a good save state before, but we'll check. 40 Feet of Terror in Titanic Tile. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. So we'll just go back out to the thing and put in the password. Good luck, AWOL. Take care. I hope you have good beer. And we'll see you later too. We'll see you whenever we see you. Alright, where's my name? Where's my name? Say my name, say my name. When no one is around me, say baby I love me. Ah yes, NB George Bush. Yeah, there's no O. You were incorrect. LMNO. O would be right here. So there's a 0. There's no O. So the reason they did that was almost certainly to avoid the ability to make words. Take care, Mr. 32. Have a good night. Alright, let's try this again. Toxic Terrors. Need to cheat harder. Alright, dog. Alright, Weed Whackers this way. I don't know what the, like, weird voice underneath this audio track is, but... Ah, gotcha. No, I don't have any keys. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, so it's Monday. I did not go into the office today. Well, actually, I went into the office briefly to have a meeting with somebody but who came into town for a couple days, but I did not go into work today, and I'm taking the rest of the week off. So I probably am not going to be streaming. I'm taking the rest of the week off to help Jess get settled with home care and everything else like that. On the plus side, we are going to be able to have a bunch of services from the doc, so she's going to get a script for things like a home health aide and other things like that. And thankfully our insurance is brilliant, and so she will have access to a bunch of different services that most people probably wouldn't have access to, because I have incredible health insurance, which is great. Unfortunately, she's still going to be in a lot of pain. So tomorrow she's actually going to get a nerve block for the surgery, which means that she should actually be in very little pain for about 18 hours after the surgery happens, because she won't be able to feel anything in that leg. But after that, it will become more painful and more difficult, and yeah, so they're basically going to cut the entire top of her foot open and do a bunch of reconstruction in there, which you can understand is not exactly the most comfortable thing in the world. Now, I see that there is a key down in the bottom left here. So if I go this way, swim down here, swim past this guy. I also see that I don't even need to use it because I can walk around this way to get the baby. Excellent! Yes, there will be a rant this evening, as always, at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. It is 10 o'clock now, so we've still got another 45 minutes till the rant. Unfortunately, tomorrow Jess needs to be at the the procedure, the hospital. Hospital, it's not really a hospital, but she needs to be where they're doing the procedure at 6 in the morning, so I'm gonna have to be up early, so I'll probably bail a little bit early tonight, but that does seem a little bit bullshit. I was not aware that there is a sequel to Hatchet. That seems broken. Anyway, hello, Stingray Gaming. Yes, 4 AM GMT, that is correct. Everybody was kung fu gripping. Huh! Those cats were fast as nothing. Alright, so I got some tourists down there. Okay, so yes, these are dolls. They're coming out of boxes or dispensers of some kind. And, yeah. Was there any reason to come in here? I have no idea. No, there was not. Oh, I guess there's a health kit. But unfortunately, I think I used up all of my keys getting there. So that was kind of dumb. I can't tell if some doors are locked and some aren't, or if that's just my imagination. Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Damn it. Aha! Alright. Ah! I like it, Stingray. I mean, I think it's going to be hard. I think I will be, by the time I get done with 40 odd levels of it, I think I may not like it nearly as much. I think it's going to be a tough game, and the lack of kind of a consistent continue mechanism, or rather how far it sets you back when you need to continue, is I think going to be frustrating for me. But for the moment, it's fun. It's a little bit goofy, you know. It's nothing all that special, but gameplay is solid. The you know, scenery is different enough to not be boring. Story is non-existent effectively, but that's not a really big deal for me. And yeah, so I think it's fine. I don't know if I would... I'm not a huge... You know, I always have trouble because I basically like just about anything other than Echo the Dolphin, and so I don't have some of these like, oh my god, this is the best game ever, worst game ever feelings that I know some people do, which makes me feel sometimes like, well, I don't really mind, everything's fine, and that feels a little bit more silly. All right, get out of here, jeez Louise. I think I went the wrong way. That's fine, Matzo. Don't worry about it. Not worried about it. Sponsor if you can. If you can't sponsor, no big deal. Let's see. Oh shit. There we go. Alright. And Audi 9000. Hello, the Master the Master K. I'm gonna say a K, and then it's gonna be different. You want a first-person shooter version of this game? That would be interesting. You know, I feel like doing at least, like, one level of this as a first-person shooter would be an interesting, like, Unity project, you know, to try and convert this into a first-person shooter. Not the whole thing, but just like one level of it, and see, you know, kind of what it looks like or whatever else like that. That would be the kind of thing that I could imagine using as a learning project for Unity, or Unreal, or whatever thing you choose to use for that. All right, I got more Weed Whacker. That's nice. All right. Damn it. Yes! Hat spin, hat spin. Everybody give me a CPG hat. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. They came to Earth for one thing. Mars needs cheerleaders. That seems dumb. Oh god. I have no idea what's going on here. No! Don't steal my cheerleader! Oh god, I'm in a bubble! Alright, well, she died. That's sort of like not being taken. Alright, we'll go ahead and use a health potion. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? We got football players. Oh god! Football player bouncing me around. We're good. Alright, we got a cheerleader. I'm in a bubble again. Got a football. Maybe we'll be able to use that later for something. Can I climb up the bleachers? I cannot. Oh god! Martian aliens, get out of here! Yeah, so, like, this game is very, like, this game has decided that story is not important, right? Like, you know, you've got zombies who are eating your neighbors, and now you've got Martians who are kidnapping your neighbors, because they need cheerleaders? Why the hell would Martians need cheerleaders? That doesn't make any sense. So it's clear that this was not like a really well thought out and practiced storyline that they were working on here. This is pretty much like, how can we put cheerleaders in a game? Also, other things? Like, zombies are cool, but so are Martians, and so are weird tentacle monsters. I think there's actually a bonus level in this called The Day of the Tentacle, which of course is another point-and-click game from the same basic era, so I assumed that it was, you know, a tie-in for that, but, oh, of course I'm out of keys. Where the hell is this last person? Yeah, exactly, Van Helsing. When did it turn into a plot for a porno? Nobody knows. They say the users live outside the computer. Nobody knows for sure, but I intend to find out. Reboot! Anybody else watch Reboot when they were a kid? Is that just me? Alright, get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, you are useless. Come on, baby. Let me find one more person. Ow. Who zapped me? You think you are? Some kind of zapping machine? Reboot? Oh, okay. So Reboot was a like computer animated cartoon from the mid-90s, and basically the idea was that it featured like the Guardian Bob, who was basically like an antivirus program, or an antivirus like toolkit, who lived inside the computer, and basically when you know, like the person who ran the diner was Dot Matrix, and you know, all of these characters were around, and you had like bits, and you had this whole kind of life inside the computer. And whenever the user would play games, it would basically come in and take over a part of the computer, and whoever was underneath it when it came down would be in the game. If they won, then they would come out and everything would be fine. If they lost, then that sector of mainframe, which was the name of the computer, would be destroyed. So it was not like, there's no reality in it or anything else like that, but it was like a cutesy game that did that. Hello, Kim and Dwayne Zoppin and everybody else like that. Hello, Mathros and Dana Sylvia. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm the Chris who plays games. For that, you get a hat spin, CPG hat for the Raiders, Alright, my name is GG, and I think that you are here to stay. No, there we go. Hello, Bonnie Kelly and Modern Retro. Good to see all of you. Da, da, da. Oh no, that's the NBC tune. I'm gonna get, like, copyright struck and... not really, but, you know, I like to be silly, just like all the YouTubers do. Oh my god, I'm gonna get a copyright strike, because I hummed a word, and it's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome. Good to have all of you here tonight. Tonight we're playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors. We're on level 13, the shopping mall. Tonight we are talking about whatever you want to talk about, because I have nothing. I have been reading Reddit and Twitter all day, and mostly people have been dumb. I did get a couple of experiments fixed on the YouTube website. Apparently there were like some experiments running that just had a bad configuration, and so every suggestion in the Watch Next was more than an hour long, pretty much. Which, as you can tell, doesn't actually lead to a lot of people being very happy with the performance of their recommendations. If every time you try and watch a video, all the videos it shows to watch next are an hour and a half long, chances are you're not going to watch most of them. So I was glad I was able to get that fixed with the help of Reddit users complaining about it. So I was able to point out some problems, and they found bad experiments and got them fixed. So that's great. Yeah, communicating on other things like that. Tired of all the people complaining about advertising. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I think the biggest problem with the advertising thing is that people just assume that we like at YouTube think the machine learning classifier that we use for that is any good. And it's not, and we know it's not, but rather than assuming like, oh, like, you know, this is kind of shitty, but YouTube knows it's bad, instead it's like, oh, YouTube has accurately and completely measured my content via a set of machine learning tactics and discovered that it is not good, and they take it as this like very serious value judgment on the, you know, suitability of their content for brands. And I understand why they do that. I mean, I understand that like we're giving you a thing and saying this represents suitability for a brand. It's understandable that you would consider that to be like an end-all be-all, but at the same time, as I look at this, it's like any machine learning classifier is going to be bad. Advertisers have made it very clear that, you know, they are interested in a high true positive rate and a low false positive rate. No, a high a high recall, and that the false positives are not important to advertisers because that's not an advertiser problem for the most part. So long as they have enough slots to advertise on, you could screw up 90% of the videos on YouTube and they wouldn't care. So they don't have a voice or a reason to care about that. Only YouTube does. And yeah. I wonder if there's... Okay, I'm gonna get spiked. Yeah, I saw that coming. God damn it. I did not mean to get spiked 3 times. So yeah, so creators are just assuming that we think we're right. And I think if you talk to anyone on the team who works on this stuff, they would say, we're not right. We know we're not right. We're not interested in, we're not interested in explaining to you the exact reasons why we're not right all the time, but we know we're not, and we're working on improving it. And I think that, saying something like that would just go such a long way. So, I'm talking to some folks and see if we can maybe say, hey, we know that the system kind of sucks and we're working on improving it, but, don't take it as read that, we're just right all the time, because we're not. Well, the reality is that, Rice Gum doesn't need... I mean, so Rice Gum is exactly the type of content that actually has concerns here, right? He is actually creating content that isn't suitable for all advertisers, and if you've made a business on creating content on YouTube, I totally understand that you need to change your content programming strategy if your content isn't friendly to all advertisers. What I worry about is all the people who have, 27 views, and YouTube has no meaningful data about their advertising, because it uses things like viewer interactions to measure these things, and they're just aren't any, and then they're like, oh my gosh, my ads, my 2 cents of ads, and I think it's not really about the money for them. It's about the perception. It's about feeling like YouTube is saying your content isn't welcome here, and anytime YouTube says that, anytime YouTube says your content isn't welcome here, people are going to be upset, whether it's people who get a strike for community guideline stuff or anything else like that. Users are always upset at that, and that was a lot of keys just to get that one guy. I don't think there's any other way to get him, though. Oh. Hello, gaming lawyer. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Anyway, welcome, Raiders and Corey Mistledine himself. Mistledine Online. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for that raid. As always, I love to have you and your friends and family here. It's good to see you again. I hope everything is well with you. Okay, let me go ahead and use that. Rice Gum is a Rice Gum is a questionable person in general. I agree. Now he's gonna someone's gonna find that and tell Rice Gum I said it, and he's gonna be like, YouTube blah blah blah, and it's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get fired because I said Rice Gum is a questionable person. Yep, that's pretty much what happens for me too, Gaming Lawyer. 71% of my recent videos have had exactly that happen, and I think that that's a common experience for many different creators, especially small creators. I think that YouTube just doesn't have the information when the video is published to do that, to figure things out. And there's also video signals that are, oh, those ants can grab my weapons. Awesome. Yeah, that's what I need. Thanks, ants. Thanks. And so, YouTube's system just isn't very good for, creators who just uploaded and, oh, you've uploaded your video. Well, we haven't actually processed it yet and gotten, closed captions and video signals and all the other things we need to get. But we have to make a guess now, because if we don't make a guess, then you'll just assume your video's okay when it's not really. And so, we are gonna guess not suitable, because it's better for us to be wrong in that direction and for you to not assume your content is okay than the other direction. Unfortunately, if your precision is really low, it really impacts the experience. It makes you think that YouTube is upset at your content, and it's just not true. But that can be very difficult to understand if you're not if YouTube isn't communicating a lot about it and you're not someone who's familiar with machine learning processes and other things like that, you're not going to really pick up on the differences between, recall and precision and all these things that I just kind of innately understand, having worked on machine learning pipelines for a long time. I understand why creators get upset. I do think that some are unreasonably upset over really small things. My advice is basically, if you're not getting 1,000 views a day on your channel, don't monetize your content. Like, you're just gonna put yourself in for a bunch of pain for no good reason. It would be better for you to just not freak out by not monetizing it. Then you'll never see a yellow icon, and you'll never be bothered. Like, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But most creators I tell that don't seem to respond super well to it. So what the hell? I'm like frozen now. No, Gaming Lawyer, the videos actually shift in status. And I think that, you know, most views happen after that, but certainly for some types of content, it is the case that, you know, there's a lot of views that happen in that time window. Wow, this is not gonna be good. I mean, if you get less than 1,000 views a day, I don't know how you can get if you get less than 1,000 views a day, I don't understand how you can clear enough to meet AdSense minimums every month, unless you are unless you're doing it via, like, you know, sponsorships and everything else like that, right? Like, so I am certainly not one to say that if you are making money via fan funding that you should stop doing that. It's an extremely useful way to, you know, generate revenue, and you know, your viewers and everything else like that can help you, and that's awesome. But it's not, your money's not going to come from advertising for the most part. So, you know, this channel I make, I don't know, $5, $10 a month, maybe max from advertising. You know, and on the Chris Plays Game, or on my, you know, main channel on CR Schmidt, I make a little bit. All right, I'm gonna try and get out of here. So I make like $10 a month over there. And I mean, I'm not at 1,000 views a day, obviously, so, you know, it is what it is. Am I gonna get a password after this? I hope I do. RKYL. But yeah, so Gaming Lawyer is here, and whenever Gaming Lawyer is here, there's a very special thing that we have to do, because Gaming Lawyer is near and dear to all of our hearts, and he introduced us to the fact that my USB controller is very bad, to Brian Wilson, the Texas Law Hawk.
Brian Wilson, Texas Law Hawk! Brian Wilson, the Texas Law Hawk! Talons of justice! Due process! Do wheelies! It's hot out here! Brian Wilson, El Halcon de la Ley! Brian Wilson, the Texas Law Hawk!
Alrighty, so that's Brian Wilson, the Texas Law Hawk. Brian Wilson, the Texas Law Hawk, introduced to us by Gaming Lawyer, is a criminal justice lawyer in, what's going on here? My controller's like busted. Just a second. I'm using a PS4 controller, a Modern Retro, but I bumped the USB cable while I was setting it down, and apparently I'm using a shitty USB thingy, and so it undid itself. No. Fuck. Reset. Yeah, so creators who have more than 10,000 subscribers can appeal their videos before they publish them. And once a video has been reviewed by a human, it won't change state back to yellow. So if you create content that goes through the yellow state at all, which I don't know about everybody else, but for me is like everything I do, it is kind of like, well, you will... anytime it's yellow, you can appeal it, you wait for the appeal to come through, and then you publish your video. So for people who are and so those what's the, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, right. So if you're a larger creator where you're actually making significant money off of your ads revenue, like you can continue to monetize your videos. You have to adjust your content programming strategy to feed in time to appeal. This obviously doesn't work if you have, like if you're like Phil DeFranco and publishing, you know, content every day, blah, blah, blah. But overall, like it's a solvable problem. That isn't the case for... I mean, obviously that is the case for everybody, and it is something that, like, it sucks. It sucks that, you know, we're in a situation where, you know, we're basically telling people, like, oh, we don't think your content is appropriate, which, again, I don't think is actually what we're trying to say, but is how it's perceived. And so, like, that perception issue, I think, is the biggest one. And that's one of the messages I want to try and give to people is, like, just because your video is yellow iconed does not mean that YouTube thinks your content isn't appropriate. What it means is that a kind of shitty system thinks it might not be appropriate, and unfortunately at the moment we have to take into, like, our system has to be extremely conservative because advertisers are aggressively kind of looking at YouTube as a source of problems right now, and until we fix that, you know, we don't have the ability to do that. And so we're working on improving the system. We want better precision. We want better, you know, everything else like that. We want a better machine learning system, but you have to get there. So, Squid Men of the Deep. Well, so Orcast, the reality is that if it's not live, the advertisers leave, right? The options are thus. You can have the system we have live, or you can give up $1 billion in revenue this year. For creators. Like, I think that's realistically like what we were looking at in the situation that existed. Wow, okay, Frogmen, get the hell out of here. In the situation that existed earlier this year, you know, $750 million in advertisers had pulled their money. They're no longer advertising on YouTube, and if we had not implemented the system, that was on a growing, accelerating curve. And so you're basically saying, like, yeah, I'm okay with the advertisers leaving, and while that system might be more fair, quote unquote, it would mean less money for creators, right? It would mean that everyone was able to make more, everyone would make less revenue, because when advertisers leave, your CPMs and your fill rates drop. And so, you know, if everyone makes less revenue, then yes, it's more fair, but and more understandable, but it means that there's less money in people's pockets. And so I know that there are people who are not, you know, selling to advertisers and not routinely talking to advertisers who are looking at this and saying, like, well, I think that you could have just, like, you know, advertisers would have come back. They would have seen that they need this audience, blah, blah, blah. The reality is that advertisers pay 10 times as much on TV as they do on YouTube, and advertisers were in the process of building their own vetting systems to only put ads on, you know, high-end creators that they handpick. And so there were companies out there in June at VidCon who were basically saying, like, we're going to make our business in this industry to just sell YouTube ads that are safe by... we're only going to sell safe YouTube ads because we're going to have everything on handpicked lists and nobody else is going to get money. And that was going to be the deal. And that kind of situation, it's way worse. Like, in this situation, like, yes, it sucks that especially small creators lose out on opportunity of revenue. It sucks that you can't know what's going to be there. It sucks that the precision is very low. But overall, you know, the majority of views for most types of content happen when the video is monetized, and we're giving creators this ability to appeals, and also are working on improving the system. And in the meantime, we've been able to pull those advertisers back onto the platform. So rather than losing $400 million in revenue this year, based on public reports, then you can lose only, you know, a small chunk of that. And for me, for example, like I have 7 videos on my channel that are still yellow icons that I can't get reviewed. Those 7 videos, I'm not, like, yes, I'm losing money on those, but otherwise I would be losing, I don't know, 10%, 20%, 30% of my overall revenue on all of my videos. I don't think it's actually better for creators to have that happen, although I do, again, think it seems more fair, and it avoids the problem with seeming like YouTube is criticizing you. So, hello, Ernie! Yeah, it was mentioned earlier that you had just streamed this. I don't know. Oh, I have to kill this guy or something, maybe. There's like bosses here. How many lives do I have? I have no idea. I'll drop a save state anyway. I'm gonna take this. What's it gonna do to me? Alright, oh, that's great. Yeah, no, that was totally great. I don't know, are they all parodies of movies? I haven't really been paying attention. I mean, I do think that is, like, you have to, like, advertisers have many biases, but I do think it is absolutely true that, the advertisers are the ones who came to YouTube and said no. They came to YouTube and said, we're not gonna take it. We're not going to advertise with you. We're not okay. And whatever motivated them to do that, whether that was, you know, old media, blah, 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 or whether that was anything else like that, it was absolutely the case that it was said. And so YouTube can't respond to, you know, like, they can't really tell the advertisers, like, I don't, like, if YouTube could have felt it could have called the advertisers' bluff safely, I think that they would have. And I do think that there is a lot of this that was like, you know, you are focusing on a tiny, tiny minority of content and getting very upset about what is essentially like a very small thing in the overall platform, and maybe you're being, you know, overly dramatic here. But the reality is they were being that overly dramatic, and so to try and push back on them and say, no, you're wrong, like, they have the money, not us. Like, we can't do everything there. So I think I am down to 1 victim per level. I think I had 2 on a recent level. I don't know. Is it like however many you get, that's as many as there are left? I was asking earlier, like, can it be that if I rescue nobody, do I still get to exit the level? Like, if zombies kill every one of my neighbors, do I still win? I don't understand. Something happened, but I didn't see a key. Yeah, I didn't actually realize until just recently it was cumulative. Gotcha. I don't feel like I'm making much progress here. So when I put in a password, does it reset to 10? Because I put in a passwords a couple times, but I don't know if it keeps, like, if that's one of the things included in the password state. Oh yeah, and so I had tentacle arms, but I couldn't actually control my movements, which was less useful. Gotcha. Yes, so I am down to 1 per level. Maybe 2. Which I guess makes it harder to get points, so I probably am not going to get a lot of extra lives that way, but makes it easier to get out of the levels, which, you know, for me is what I like progression, so the faster I can get out of levels, the better. Is there, like, a better weapon I should be using to attack this guy? Also, have I done, like, no damage to him? I don't like these boss levels. I think that is something about this game. These boss levels are not enjoyable for me. Because, like, the giant toddler one, I also had a lot of trouble with. Yeah, so I feel like I used the bazooka and it, like, I just missed with it, right? Gotta be faster, I guess? So yeah, I mean, the reality is that, like, YouTube's ads classifier sucks. It is something that is doing the best that we can do within what we have. If we got rid of it, then creators would lose much more because we would have to take away money from all videos. I mean, YouTube used to have a system where basically everything used to require going through manual approval through 2015 even, and manual approval would basically just never be granted for anything with less than, like, you know, thousands of views. It wasn't explicitly stated. It was just like, we have a review queue, we have this many people hired to review it, and whatever has the fewest views doesn't get reviewed. It was ordered by that, and that's all there was to it. Hello, Jazz Meow! Which, you know, was, I would say, worse. You know, the system we've got now, at least you can monetize some of your content automatically. Without it going through a review process, without anything else like that. And I think that that's an improvement over what we used to have. But I realize it feels, again, like, if you believe it's right, it feels unfair. If you believe it's wrong, it still feels unfair if you can't do anything about it. And you're not wrong. I mean, it sucks. And so YouTube needs to work on making it better. It needs to be a better system. I think that there should be some more transparency about some parts of it. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, who owns the process and understand it better myself, because, you know, I know things internally that I can't share externally. But I don't know if I know everything, and so it's hard for me to figure out how to communicate it, right? So it demonetizes everything. I mean, like the reality is that most of the time what it does is it demonetizes things as soon as you upload them. Sometime after you upload them, they are then, you know, monetized, and then once it's published, it will use a bunch of other information that isn't just about the video in order to figure out if it should have monetization or not. Like hate speech words and other things like that. I mean, like, the reality is that rap is rarely hate speech. It uses racial slurs at times, but usually isn't hate speech. There are a few example rap videos that this is not true of, but typically those are reported and they'll be reviewed by YouTube staff and a given appropriate, you know, whatever. You have to keep in mind that, like, the vast majority of the content which is reviewed by that you appeal is put to the green. Like, if you get a green icon at any point in your video's lifetime, it's probably YouTube's way of saying we were wrong. Like, that, to the best of our ability, whether it's because you requested a review or because of whatever else like that, we were wrong. And it would be nice if we were wrong less often, but given what I've seen actually be demonetized after review, or things that I've seen things that I've seen demonetized after review, it's usually pretty easy to say, yeah, I can see why advertisers wouldn't be happy with that. A lot of the music stuff doesn't get monetized anyway because there's, like, weird complex music arrangements and everything else like that. Especially rap, I've seen, doesn't always tend to have that. And then even if it's monetized, like, even if you see ads, you can't necessarily know whether that's the full set of advertisers or a more narrow set of advertisers, because just because it's quote-unquote demonetized, you know, just because it has the yellow icon doesn't mean it sees 0 ads. It just means it sees fewer. It sees them from the advertisers who are, you know, less risk averse. And so on. So I think that overall the system is fair insofar as videos with with very few views are routinely demonetized. I don't think there's any preference for one creator over another. There's no preference for one type of content over another. It's just routinely demonetized, and content from larger creators tends to be monetized because there's more data that YouTube can use to figure out, no, that was actually okay. And that's a shame as a small creator and someone who's looking at this. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is to make sure that all the analysis that the team does is actually treating that fairly, is saying like, well, you know, instead of looking at view weighted or whatever else like that, which is how YouTube tends to do a lot of things, look at it as per video or per, you know, creator bracket or other things like that. So we think about these things, and we are for the most part. I don't mean to say like no one else has thought about it, but that's the questions that I want to ask, is always like, okay, I didn't do anything. That was weird. Alright, let's get out of here. I don't know how that guy died, but whatever. Oh, shit. If I die... Oh, no! I need more boss keys? Oh, shit nuggets. I don't have much weapons left. Much left in the way of weapons. This may be the end, guys. This may be the end. That did not work well. God damn it. Well, it has a lot of hate speech. I mean, I don't know. The reality is that the same types of things that YouTube is dealing with have been dealt with on TV and everything else like that for ages, right? And so, like, rap artists are very good at knowing exactly which line they can go to. I do think racial slurs are used, but racial slurs don't necessarily have a video get demonetized in general. It's a, you know, like, it's not the primary thing that gets a video demonetized, I don't think. Oh, those are doors, not just piles of dirt. Okay. I'm dumb. Alright, open you. Open you. Nothing. Oh, shit. No bazookas? Got nothing? Nothing for me? Jeez Louise. I mean, a lot of people, like, concentrate on, like, oh, like, swear words and blah, 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 and I'm like, no, that's not it. It's not swear words. It's not, you know, these other things that you think it is. It's not anything like that. It's just that, like, you know, the system's shitty. Like, it looked at your, on one of mine, I looked at it, and I'm pretty sure that what happened is, it looked at my thumbnail, and it's like, it's one of my drone videos, and the thumbnail is just, like, it picked, like, the YouTube auto-generated thumbnail is a thumbnail that has, like, grass and then a leg in it, and it judged my, like, thumbnail as being inappropriate, and I'm pretty sure it's because it looks like porn. Like, it's probably like, oh, the only thing I can see in this thumbnail is a leg, therefore it's porn. And it's like, you know, shit like that you just never would think about. And if you were not, you know, and I still don't know, like, what it thinks is wrong. I'm just kind of guessing. But I'm guessing that that's exactly the type of thing that you're dealing with all the time. Hello! Biolithic! I am having fun tonight. I am. Try to get those chests. Yeah, well, so... yeah, that's true, but I don't have any of them. Alright, let's find some dudes. I mean, so hateful versus hate speech are two very different things, right? Like, the definition of hate speech, look to, like, YouTube's community guidelines or other things like that for what we define as hate speech. And hate speech is, you know, incitement to violence and other things like that. And there was a very controversial video recently that commented about, like, you know, hanging chinks or something else like that. And that was, like, actually, you know, borderline, you know, like, borderline even acceptable to stay on the platform kind of thing. And And I think that it succeeded because it's like, well, it's not actually a specific inducement to violence, it's blah 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 blah. And a lot of this is like YouTube takes a super open, like, free speech position, but it doesn't do that for advertising, right? Like, it tries to keep every video on the platform that it can, but some of them can't. So Biolithic, it's good to see the YTG fam here every night. Yeah, it's one of the things I really like about this stream is that, you know, as a result of being the guy that all the streamers talk to, I tend to get a big streamer audience, and I like that. It makes me happy. But yeah, like, women suck and don't blah 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 is shitty opinions, but I don't think it would qualify as hate speech under anything that YouTube uses, and the advertiser friendly guidelines don't actually have specific rules for hate speech, I don't think. So for that, we just look to the community guidelines, and that's the same thing we use. Now, I don't know if there's something else that isn't public or whatever else like that that would factor in, but overall, I don't think that it's, I don't think that's the factor. It's really shit, like, I mean, sexual content is the one that I think is biggest. You know, I saw one complaint from someone. She's like, my video was manually reviewed and it didn't, like, get approved. And she, like, you know, talked to support and was like, why doesn't it blah, blah, blah? And they just copy-pasted the answer that they're supposed to give, which is like, you know, not all content is available for all audiences, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, what do you mean? My content should be available for all audiences. And he was like, well, you have to really think about it like it would be appropriate for a 5-year-old. And I followed up and I said, can we not say that? Because it's not true. Like, we advertise on all kinds of content that would not be appropriate for a 5-year-old. Like, everything PewDiePie does, well, not everything, but most of the stuff that PewDiePie does is advertiser friendly and not suitable for a 5-year-old. Like, we don't target that. And so, yeah, so the creator support team said, yeah, that was someone trying to go off the script, but I also get, like, as a support agent, like, I go off the script all the time in ways that if someone were to treat it as an official YouTube communication would get so many people angry at me because, you know, I say things that can be misconstrued or misunderstood or whatever else like that because I want to try and be helpful. And so I feel bad for a support agent who is trying to answer a question, like getting completely beat up by a creator, and then is like, well, I can't do anything here, so let me just try and provide more information based on my reading of this. And it sucks that we can't be, you know, things like that are part of the reason why YouTube takes such a conservative approach to communication, is because people drastically misconstrue anything we say, and so we have to, like, have everything reviewed by 17 people to try and look at it and blah 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 before we can, you know, say it. And it just sucks. I mean, it's a shitty situation for creators, it's a shitty situation for YouTube, and a more empathetic and open tone of communication in general could help improve that, but it's like something you can't change overnight, and so in the meantime we're like trying to do a little bit at a time and just sometimes getting beat the fuck up about it. I mean, my guess, gaming lawyers, it's probably not even that complex. Like, my guess is that, especially if it's a live stream, like, all of my live streams are affected. If I schedule my live stream more than 12 hours in advance, it will turn yellow by the time I start. Every time. Which makes me think that that's something that, like, the system just doesn't handle, and it's understandable. Like, YouTube live streams are certainly important to creators, but, like, overall, they have the problem that there's no video content until after the stream, right? And so you've got this 4.5 hour long stream, and so YouTube is, like, trying to do what it can, but I need to, like, start over from my password here and see if I can get some more weapons here. Alright, RKYL. Yeah, and so it's it's hard, you know, and so we craft these, you know, we deal with, you know, millions of creators who have access to creator support, and so we're trying to create these scaled communications that can be used over and over again. But at the same time, we're trying to create scaled communications. We want to be empathetic. So how do you pull off both at the same time? Well, the answer is it's not easy. It's not a straightforward problem to solve that, you know, will let you do that. So all right, got a key. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wander around this level a bit more and try and collect a few more weapons. So because I only have to pick up like one neighbor at this point, or two neighbors, I'm still at the 2 level. I had just kind of ran through the level really quickly, picked up the one neighbor and been done. But that means that I didn't pick up any of the other items or anything else like that that could help me in the later levels. So let's see if I can maybe do a little bit better here. Okay, I got my mystery potion. Oh, yep, 1 now. You're right. Oh. I don't know how I'm supposed to get up there, but whatever. So how do I get up to the red potion, though? Because I've got desks everywhere. To bazooka through some of these spider webs or something. Yes, that was exactly my thought, Biolithic. I think I bought the SNES Mini and it's on the SNES Mini. I mean, I know I bought the SNES Mini and I think I saw it on the SNES Mini and I was like, you know what, I've never played that. And I looked it up and I'm like, that's cool, I can do that. Gotcha. I got 1 key. So when do I take the, like, you know, secret level potion? Just any time? It's not great, but... It is hard, though. The boss levels in particular are a level of difficulty, especially this early in the game, are a level of difficulty beyond what I would kind of want, so... So, I mean, one of the general problems that I have with creators, Lalo, is that I don't think a lot of them are consumers of YouTube very much. And so they probably don't, like, a lot of times I've been like, you know, they're like, oh, there's no live content on my thing, and I'm like, do you ever use YouTube? And they're like, no. Like, I don't watch YouTube. I just know that there's never any live content in recommendations because there's no live content in my recommendations. And I'm like, but that's because you don't use YouTube. Like you don't watch YouTube. You don't watch other people other than, like, you raid people sometimes and watch for like 20 minutes. And that one's a little bit, I don't know. All right, this squid man is gonna die and turn into fish. I think that what's going to happen here is that we're going to play the CPG Rant of the evening, and then I am going to continue with this after that. So I bet there would normally be like a neighbor there if I had not allowed all my neighbors to die. Is there no, like, weapons anywhere in this level? Like, exploring all of the sides of this, trying to find some freaking weapons, and there's none. There's nothing. I agree, Orc Chaos. It's the one thing that I think YouTube gaming has absolutely over YouTube. YouTube gaming is missing a lot of the features that are not like super streaming specific. So I use YouTube for a lot of things, but the chat UI in particular on the main app, especially in the new UI, is even worse. There's just like no chat visible on the main app. So. Well, 10-minute break. We were talking about that earlier. The question really is like, how much of a cut are you willing to give up to have the button on iOS? Cowdizzle. Well, just for Cowdizzle, we're gonna take a break right now, and we're gonna do a very special rant. This rant is special because it actually is like an edited video with like other things in it, and so you should be excited and you should tell me how great it is. So everybody, sit back and relax. Watch some CPG Rant time. The most common myth I hear repeated in the YouTube community is that YouTube doesn't care about creators. Now, while there are many complaints that you can make about YouTube, and I'll agree with you on many of them, the idea that they don't care about creators in general, or that they're shitty to creators in general, is one that I can't wrap my head around. I'm the Chris who plays games, and this is your CPG rant of the evening. Before we even get into what YouTube actually does to support creators, let's talk about why the idea of them not supporting creators is just silly. YouTube is not TV and will never be TV. And while YouTube now has a presence from major entertainment and industry folks, YouTube always has been and always will be driven in large part by their personality-driven creators who helped grow the platform in the first place. If you look at Google's Google Preferred program, the advertising program which handcrafts content programming lineups to sell space to premium advertisers, 90% of every category except for news is independent creators. In short, the folks who create the content that Google sells their most expensive YouTube ads on are almost all homegrown, personality-driven creators who've grown up on YouTube. These creators are crucial to the success of the YouTube ecosystem. Whether it's Linus Tech Tips, Annoying Orange, or Devin Supertramp, YouTube's most dedicated fans will always be fans of personality-driven content creators. YouTube has to care about the creators or it falls apart. Creators are the lifeblood that keeps the site moving. They are the only reason that YouTube even exists. And no matter how much you may disagree with what YouTube does, this fact shines through in every conversation they have in public. Every time they say something, from VidCon to industry interviews to press releases to videos they put out, they fully acknowledge that they only exist because of the creators. And at the same time they're doing that, they're getting beat up in the media for not being more in line with the big Hollywood whatevers, and they're still standing by creators. The next thing creators say will always be like, well, YouTube never shows it. They never show that they care about creators. To which I also say, that's bullshit! YouTube invests heavily in trying to help creators learn how to make better content on the platform. The Creator Academy has produced more than 60 videos in the past year alone, which have been watched millions of times. Producing more than one public video per week on average, YouTube has provided tips on everything from how to run your YouTube channel as a business, to interviews on starting educational channels, or tips on how to choose content for your channel and set up a programming strategy. The lessons in the Creator Academy include lessons on dozens of different topics with more than 100 hours of teaching material on everything from pre-production to copyright, from branding to understanding evolving marketing landscape. These lessons are taken directly from the best practices available, from talking to YouTubers who've succeeded and talking to developers behind the scenes that support them, and putting those best practices into a set of teaching materials that creators can use to learn. Do you think YouTube invests time in these things for its own videos? For the creators. YouTube also has more than 100 creator events every year, open to creators of all sizes around the world. Whether it's pop-up spaces in Stockholm, creator days in Austin, building new spaces with ongoing career events in Rio, YouTube invests heavily in making access to its worldwide network of creators more broadly available. And these events, which range from teaching courses to networking events at every level of content creation, regional events that often feature major creators in the region, offering perspectives that you can't get anywhere else. These events are designed to provide opportunities to creators of all sizes to learn from those that have been there. YouTube also offers access to its spaces, professional production facilities in 10 cities worldwide. These production facilities, available to anyone with more than 10,000 subscribers, offers creators access to stages that would otherwise cost thousands of dollars per day to rent for free. Not only is the stage free, but the gear is free, the post-production facilities are free, and the classes to use the equipment are free. Having recently been to the YouTube space in LA, I was hugely impressed by how massive it was. With more than a dozen sound stages ranging from hundreds of square feet to thousands, the facility is contained in a space that was previously used as a hangar for building helicopters. The space included a half-dozen different edit booths with massive edit boards, and when we walked by we saw an ongoing edit using 16 different cameras across multiple stages, with everything from a Foley room to a screening room, and gear ranging from an audio recorder to a $100,000 red-branded camera available to use for free. The space was absolutely incredible. These state-of-the-art production facilities cost millions of dollars to build and maintain, and YouTube gives access away for free. And not just for the biggest creators out there, for people with 10,000 subscribers. To tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of channels. And the LA space isn't the only one. YouTube now has spaces in 10 cities around the world. LA and New York in the US, Toronto in Canada, Berlin, London and Paris in Europe, Mumbai and Tokyo in Asia, Rio and Sao Paulo in South America. Within the US alone, more than 58 million people live within 150 miles of a state-of-the-art production facility that YouTube creators can use for free. YouTube cares deeply about creator success on the platform. They work hard on features that help solve real creator needs, as we saw the concerns about advertising revenue generation across the platform. Late last year, we rolled out Super Chat and sponsorships, helping creators earn millions of dollars that would not otherwise have been possible via direct fan support. At a broader level, YouTube invests in platform features like comment moderation that help creators grow their communities by improving the comment quality. Features like the community tab to help creators engage and retain their viewership and audience on the platform. YouTube cares about providing information and access to YouTube creators. Since 2016, every monetizing creator has access to creator support, providing email support for a wide array of creator-facing questions, something that was not available to most creators before that. YouTube cares about helping creators succeed, offering remote channel consultations for creators with more than 10,000 subscribers and in-person channel consultations at spaces for creators with more than 100,000 subscribers, white glove partner support for all creators with more than 100,000 subscribers, and direct partner managers for thousands of larger creators around the world, giving these folks a person they can email and ask questions to. While all these things have flaws, and you can talk about the flaws around who has access or how they're communicated, flaws around the policies and implementation and practices, flaws around the priorities that YouTube has for feature development, and more, the idea that YouTube just doesn't care about creators, no matter what the size the claim is made about, is just ludicrous on its face. Creators are the lifeblood of YouTube. Without creators, YouTube is nothing, and they know it. There's no other explanation for the things that they do. I'm Lucas who plays games. This is your CPG rant of the evening. Welcome back. Okay, I can words. Hello, hello. Yes, fun Google hat. That's what I have. A fun Google hat. It's right here. Tonight we're going to be drinking a beer. Tonight we're going to be drinking the Trove Brewing Company Departure of Consciousness. It has no fancy label, but it is an amber mixed culture ale aged on Colorado peaches, brewed and bottled in Denver, Colorado. So yeah, this is a $14 bottle of beer. Jesus Christ. I don't even look at how much they cost, which is starting to feel like maybe a mistake. Also, there's like gunk on the side of it. Look at that. Has I just been like, was I supposed to rotate my bottles? I can't tell if that's like in the bottle or what. What is that? What's all that stuff? It doesn't move. Weird. Alright, so now I'm going to open this and it's going to go everywhere because I've just been turning this thing all over the place. I have been to Germany. Yes, I've been to Berlin. I have not been anywhere else in Germany. Okay, good. It didn't go all over the place. Does beer do that even? I guess it doesn't when you open it like that. I don't know. It's not under pressure in the same way as like soda. So Cowdizzle, as far as Gold Rush goes, I am just amazed that Todd is ahead. Like, Todd doing well. And I realized the reason that Todd is ahead is because, like, Hunter took over, right? Like, we all know that that Todd can't do anything worth doing, well or not well. Yeah, I should have left a little bit more in here and rolled that, I guess, because it's definitely, like, yeasty goop that I was supposed to drink. Oh, well, whatever. This one's from Colorado. You want to spin the hat? We can spin the hat. We got the hat spin. Oh, I don't get that show either. I steal it. That's what torrenting is for, baby. No, I mean, I would buy it, but no, this is not actually fair. This is one of those cases where I'm being a hypocrite. I don't want to pay $20 for one season of one TV show. I think that is ridiculous. And so I am unwilling to pay $20 for one season of one TV show. And so although I could buy it on iTunes or other things, I'm just not willing to do so. And so I don't get it. I realize that is not a morally defensible position, but it is a position that I take nonetheless. Holy shit, that's good. Wow. That is super tasty. All right. This one is definitely a keeper. I'm going to have to go on whatever it is and rate this. I'm confused as to how... This is only a 13-ounce bottle. Oh, I guess I got 3 ounces of space in the top here. Okay. I was like, I'm confused. It, like, filled up my glass, but I guess that's just a little bit more. Yeah, this is delicious. No, it tastes like, it's like a tangy... It doesn't taste like a beer. It tastes almost like a peach cider. It's more like a sour ale than it is, like, I mean... I guess this makes sense. So this is, like I said, amber mixed culture ale aged on Colorado peaches. But it's much more like a sour ale than like a beer. I was expecting it to be a beer, but it is much more of a sour ale. So it's only, I have to be up tomorrow at 5 in the morning because I have to drive Jess to the operation she's having. She's supposed to be there at 6 because they're going to be operating at 7:30. So they got to do anesthetization and everything else like that before. Oh, man, that's good. So for oh man, sorry. For HBO, at least, I feel like there's a lot of different content out there, and they have, like, rotating movie selections and all this other stuff. And for that, like, I actually feel like, you know, it depends on the person, but for me, like, our HBO subscription is worth it. We end up watching, like, John Oliver and The Deuce, and, you know, my wife will go back and watch The Wire, or we'll watch Deadwood. There's Veep, there's, you know, I watched Vice Principals for a little while. I didn't end up liking it, but I did watch it for a little while. So my feeling is that, like, HBO has a lot of content, and I am generally okay with their level of content to their price. But then again, I'm drinking a $14 bottle of beer, so you can tell that my overall level of oh shit, get off me. I want more weapons, but these wolves are just gonna follow me around and beat me up. Have I watched Highway to Hell? I don't know. Is this one of the trucker shows? Zombies ate my coworkers. And the reality is that they already show him going, alright, I'm just getting out of here. Gaming lawyer, I could the thing is that if so I don't know what the actuality is here. My feeling is that the answer to that question is yes. And the reason that I did not write off my beer last year is because I don't make enough money that I had, like, in general, when writing off my business, I don't want to show a negative margin. Because the IRS apparently gets a little bit hinky about that if you do it repeatedly for long enough. And so... Oh! Bazookas. Okay, dead. So let me take the bazookas. I'm missing? Let's throw these things at you. And so because, like, last year I made just enough money that, like, I wrote off my Steam library because pretty much every game that I bought on Steam, I bought with the intention of using for my business. I wrote off my drone, or drone parts, because I used those to make content for my other YouTube channel. And I wrote off, like, the previous year, I think I wrote off my computer, which I bought and built, or maybe that was this year. So I guess that would have been... I put together the computer in 2006. Yeah, so that was it. So I wrote off my computer and I wrote off my Steam library. And this year, I will write off my drone. And those things all end up being that, like, I reduce my income after expenses to something like, you know, $100, at which point I just paid the self-employment taxes on that, rather than, like, trying to report my beer and food and drink and other things like that, because at that point I would make negative money, and when your business makes negative money, the IRS looks at you a little bit funny. So oh, yes! Stingray, yes, I definitely have watched Highway to Hell. It's the guy who owns the red trucks, and he, like, loves having his trucks be super shiny, and all the other businesses are kind of crappy, and then he, like, bought a new truck at one point, like this new big rig wrecker, which has, like, a rotating, pivoting arm and whatever, and, like, the first day somebody drove it, he, like, went and got it all scraped up, and he was so pissed. He was like, I just got this thing, and now I've got to pay $10,000 to get this stupid fender that you bent out of shape fixed. And in reality, it has no impact whatsoever on the performance of the truck, but he's like, this freaking sucks. Alright. So yeah, so I don't know what a good, oh man. Let me go back here real quick. Alright, so we're gonna skip the snakeoids because I don't actually care that much, and we're just gonna skip over this level because CPG should always cheat. So we're gonna put in a code from the next level on, which is gonna take us past it, because I don't really feel like trying to go through and collect enough weapons to beat this all the time. So, yeah, so anyway, Cowdizzle, if you're still here, Gold Rush. My feeling is, oh my gosh, this is the start button on this controller is sticky, and so, like, I'm pushing start, but it's registering two of them. Todd winning is driving me crazy. Like, the reality, of course, is that Parker should be running 2 wash plants, or ideally 3, given that he has the other clan that he bought that isn't at a 30% fucking royalty rate to Tony. But of course, he hasn't done that yet because it turns out that all of the water that he will need for his wash plant is on Tony's fucking land, and he didn't think that through before buying the goddamn claim. But yeah, so he should be out there and like doing work. And I am like annoyed that Todd is winning, but again, I know that Todd is winning because he's running 3 wash plants, which means his costs are super high, relative to, wait, is this? Okay. His costs are super high relative to Parker's, and he is, and he's winning in gold, but like in money, he's probably not actually winning. But they don't include that, right? Like they always include the gold and not the running costs, because of course if they included running costs, what you would find out is that Tony Beats is making a freaking killing, because Tony Beats has like redone this dredge where he's spending like $100 an hour to run, while they're all spending like $8,000 or like $2,000 an hour to run. So they need like 1.5 ounces of gold just to break even, and they pull in like 2. And Tony Beats needs like 1/4 ounce of gold, and he pulls in like 1.5. And they're like, yeah, you know, they made more money than Tony Beats. It's like, yeah, but they spent 4, 8, 10 times as much, and that isn't really covered in there. But yeah, so Todd is winning because he's got 3 wash plants up and running, or at least 2. I guess Freddy Dodge's claim got shut down. And you know, Parker's only got 1, and it's like, why do you only have 1? Why is Slucifer not running yet? What are you doing? You gotta get out there, because I do not want freaking Todd freaking Hoffman to win this stupid competition. But as far as I can tell from the previews for next week, Todd and Hunter get into a fight. And Todd and Hunter in a fight almost certainly means Todd's being a fucking moron and is going to take over some aspect of the mine running, and then it's going to be back to normal. Todd is going to be there and making a fool of himself, and so on and so forth. I don't know, Ernie. Not many anymore. Now there's only 1. Yeah, Todd's crew getting shot at. The super crazy guy who just, like, goes out into the street and shoots at Todd's crew and, like, gets up in Freddy Dodge's face and is, like, you know, fucking screaming at him is, like, that's just so... like, it's probably Van. Van, have you gone to jail recently for threatening anybody? Because I'm pretty sure, like, they're in the wilds of Colorado. I did like when Todd was there, and like, you know, Parker's up in Alaska, or Canada, I guess, because he's in the Yukon. And Todd's in Todd's in Colorado, and Todd is the one who's getting snowed in, which is like, okay, well, I guess I have, oh, there we go. I guess I have 2, but Mars Attacks, the game, is a pinball table. No, I think, well, so they probably can't carry because they're probably not actually licensed in Colorado. That's true. When they were in Alaska, they all brought their bear hunting guns, because I remember in season 1, like episode 2, they were like, oh, we're going to have to make drama, so we're going to make a huge deal out of the fact that we're like, you know, we've got these guys and they're being attacked by a bear and blah, blah, blah. And the reality is like, nope, like, you don't need to make drama. These guys are such idiots. They'll make their own drama. You don't need to help. And so, yeah. But yeah, like, anyway, so yeah, so Gold Rush so far this season, you've got, Tony Beats is attempting to destroy his, or take apart, rather, his new dredge. He did briefly get a boat on the water. Apparently he didn't actually have land use permits to demolish this dredge last season. Despite the fact he worked all season on getting a fucking boat, he didn't bother to get permits to do the work, and so he got caught out by the Canadian whoever authorities. So he's got a land use permit now, and he's working on restoring his barge, or rather taking apart his dredge and rebuilding his barge because it's got a broken motor in it. But because the barge is broken, he just flew up with the person he hired, Seamus, to uh-oh, that's bad. All right, well, that didn't go so well. That's what I get for only having 1 more thing. Yes, so he bought the dredge that is, he bought another dredge. He bought a dredge, he took it apart, moved it, and has been using it for 2 seasons. They've made about $3 million out of it now, or maybe, I don't know, $2 million, something like that off of it. So let's see how many neighbors I've got now. Alright, apparently this password has 3 victims, which is not exactly great. I was like, I'm surprised that I let so many victims die, but now that I realize it's only 3 victims, I don't feel so special anymore. I was like, I didn't even see that guy, how did I let him die already? Nope, not me. Someone else. But yeah, so, oh god, shit. So yeah, I'm liking it, but like I said, I don't like Todd winning. Hunter is, by the way, smart. Hunter has been mining with Todd for a while, and he's been calling Todd out on his bullshit for years. I am super glad that he is now running one of the plants because, one, he's way better at it than Todd. And as much as I enjoy watching people fail, watching Todd fail over and over again is like, you know, watching a YouTuber just complaining about the same thing over and over again. It gets old. It's like, dude, just move on. Like, if you don't like YouTube, I got it. You can ditch it now. Alright, I got 2. It's good. The scary sequel to Level 7, Revenge of Dr. Tongue. Oh, this is the castle level. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. What we got? Got a person over there. Got a party over here. A party over there. Put your hands in the air and shake your derriere. I got like wolves or something. Alright, so I got at least one victim. That's good. Neighbor, rather. I've never played Super Metroid Rush. No, I don't. I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't really love Metroidvanias because of all the backtracking. I don't like not knowing where to go, and I don't like backtracking. So Ori and the Blind Forest is one that I played. I played Alwa's Awakening. Excuse me, but it wasn't super bad about the backtracking, I felt like. But then I was playing Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight, beautiful game, really enjoyed it, but like the backtracking was just so aggressive. I was like, I'm so tired of seeing the same goddamn portion of the level, you know, 700 times. Like, it sucks. And so, as those things have gotten old for me, I have kind of backed away from the Metroidvania style and not ended up going back to it because I just don't like it. I don't know what this electrified guy is doing, but... Oh, no. Oh, that wasn't a neighbor. Okay. Oh, it's Frankenstein. Alright. I apparently can't kill that guy. Okay, I can't kill him, it's just hard. So I need to go left, but I don't know how to go left. So let's see if we can figure it out. Oh yeah, so I have drunk sake. I had sake when I was in Japan. So I was in Japan back in 2008. I presented at a conference there where the conference organizers invited me to come present for them. I do not really enjoy it. I recently had sake at a sushi restaurant in Boston. Also did not really enjoy it, so... Alright. But yeah, South America was so stupid. And the reality is that like their style of mining just doesn't work in South America, and I don't know if he just like didn't ask anybody before he went. I mean, like, not that like under preparation would ever be really surprising with Todd fucking Hoffman, but like I was surprised even with it being Todd that like, do you not realize that like placer mining is not what they do? Like, yeah, there's a ton of gold, but they do it in like hard rock, you know, drilling. They do it in all this other stuff, or they do it in this like super, you know, pocket mining, which they do with like a ton of lead and everything else like that. Like, this is not your style of mining, Todd. You need to get the fuck out of Dodge. And then they built that giant freaking wash plant, Trommel, that they couldn't take anywhere because it's the freaking jungle. Like, it's a mud-soaked mess. You can't take things through it. So they couldn't get their parts in there. And then, like, you know, Jack, you know, in going for the gold, like, went and smashed their Trommel with the excavator, which it turned out later he did on purpose. They're all so fucking dysfunctional that it's like, I don't even know what to do with you. Yep. Did I miss a couple piles of sand? I might have. I do have that kind of in my head now, at least. Alright, there's some more shooty bang bang. Give me some of that shooty bang bang. There we go. Alright, I got 2 more neighbors somewhere in here. I don't know why I shot that. I should be more cautious with my ammo. Alright, there's a guy. Let's go up and around to the right. See if we can find somebody here. So yeah, I think that it has been an interesting season so far. I'm glad to see Hunter getting some of the recognition he deserves. I'm glad that the Hoffmans are, like, the Hoffman crew is making money, even though I wish that Todd wasn't, because I think Todd is a fucking, like, cokehead asshole. And that's the majority of why I watch the show, is so I can watch Todd fail. Watching him succeed is less entertaining. But I also am glad. Oh shit. Assholes. Get out of here. No, the reason is because like all of Todd's crew is smart, but Todd is an idiot, and everyone else has to listen to Todd except for Hunter, because Todd gave Hunter power. So that's gonna go away soon. You have to keep in mind, like, Todd never ever lets someone who should be in charge for long. Like, Dave Turin is definitely like a obvious example of this. Like, so many times he's had to be like, Todd, you have to let me do things my way. And Todd will be like, yeah, we're going to do things your way. And it'll be like 3 days later, he's like, nope, we can't do it your way anymore. And it's like, shut up. Like, you've mined here for 6 months and pulled up 1.5 ounces, and you're going to tell me you can't, like, I can't do this? Like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, I was going to say, it's great. They're going to just sit there and wait for me. All right. Let's get out of here. Oh no! No more keys. No more keys. Need the tourists. God damn it. Alright. Yeah, I'm totally not gonna make it out of this level, because they're gonna kill my tourist. They're dolls, Jose. Not babies. We discovered this earlier. Alright, key. Christmas. See, they're hopping out of those like those doll dispensers. I don't know why these people have doll dispensers, but apparently they do. Oh, those tourists are totally gonna die when I get over to them. There's no way, no fucking way I get around that. Assuming that I don't die in the meantime. Ah! XYLZ. Well, that was basically, Cadizzle, that was basically like the whole point of Season 1 was basically Jack going around with an excavator, digging wherever. Oh my god, this guy again. I hate you so much. I do not like the bosses in this game. Oh, I don't have to kill it? Well, thank God for that, because that would drive me crazy. But yeah, Jack going around and basically saying, like, I smell the gold! I smell the gold! Like, that was the entire season 1 of Gold Rush, like, completely ignoring, like, they wouldn't drill, and they didn't have a working sluice for, like, the first N months, and I still, like, they always show, the one scene of, like, Parker going over when he was, like, 15 to help Todd, like, debug their gold box, and he walks up, and, like, they've taken a bunch of muck out of the bottom of their, the thing they had that was like the double pump whatever thing they had, and they're like going through it, and and I just remember like Parker says, like, you know, you can tell they're newbies to gold mining when they're not panning it, they're like picking through with their fingers, like as the film camera is like recording Todd doing it, and Todd looks up at him like, what are you doing, kid? Like, you talking smack about me while I'm sitting right here? And I'm like, yeah, he is, because you deserve it, you idiot. Like, you have no idea how to be a gold miner. You do not know anything about this problem you were trying to solve. Like, shut up and listen to the kid, because he is 10 times smarter than you. Okay, so I should grab the, like, bazooka and burst through those glass things to pick up the, okay, can't do that. To pick up the potions. I don't know if I will. I can always come back to this level because I got my XYLZ password. Yes. It's definitely an intentional choice on their part, though. Ugh, get away from me, ants. Oh. Oh shit. I can't. Well, now I'm confused. I have to go around here. Got some forks and knives. That's going to be a very important weapon for me, I'm sure. Yeah. Look, these purple ants are stealing my shit. They're getting in my way. There's nothing good about them whatsoever. Apparently not so good on ants, though. Alright, what do we got here? Like, I need to get left, but I can't figure out a way. I might have to go all the way around the top or something. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, is this it? Did I, like, no. Am I misremembering where my victim is? Neighbor? Whatever. Use the trampoline? Alright. Down diagonally and left. Oh, can I make it across that? So I was kind of looking at that, but I just didn't think I was going to make it. I guess I should have known. Alright, there's my neighbor. There's a 1-up. Oh, it's behind the boss door. Okay, so it's definitely not the case that I can kill the baby in one life. So it's definitely not worth it to me to get that 1-up, given that the baby would kill me N times in the meantime. Alright, so yes, Gold Rush has definitely been interesting. Hunter, Where the Red Fern Growls. I've read Where the Red Fern Grows. I am looking forward to Parker getting more of his plan set up. I did feel like Parker was, in the most recent episode, really rude to the guy whose trucks kept breaking down. Like, you're mining through bullshit muck, like thick-ass permafrost. Everyone knows it. The fact that it's breaking down is not his fault. Like, he's got bad luck. Because he had a couple of breakdowns, but it's not like he's doing anything wrong. Like, his freaking, you know, dozer tooth snapped. I just felt like that was, I mean, it was so typically Parker to bitch at someone for something that's completely out of their control, because he's cranky about it, but at the same time, it was entirely Parker. It was also entirely pissing me off. because Parker being Parker does piss me off. Oh, there you go. Anything else here? No. Anyway, Lalo, iOS purchases. I think the big question is always going to be, how do you handle, like, given that Apple charges 30% on purchases and you're not allowed to, I think in most cases, even tell people that they're taking part of the money. I think that that's it. Like, if they find out you're doing that, in some cases your app gets canned. It's hard to imagine how we, like, effectively, you know, and fairly compensate creators, given that we're already taking a 30% cut for our running costs, which are designed with all of the... Uh-oh. Am I trapped? Am I trapped? I think I might be trapped. Oh, there we go. Oh, no! Oh, no! No, no, no! Oh, shit nuggets. That sucks. Like, I had her too, and still. Yeah, I enjoyed Cuphead. I haven't actually finished it yet. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna play a couple of weeks of I would play a couple of weeks of, what is it, Mirror's Edge, and then go back to that afterwards. So I don't think we'll finish we might or might not finish Mirror's Edge this Friday, but I definitely plan to go back to Cuphead after that for a little while. Yeah, in this case, I think it was just me. Like, this wasn't their fault. This was just me. Alright, so we don't care about the baby. My only victim. Ow. Ugh! Get off of me! Oh, right. My trampoline's down there. Excellent. Well done. Yeah, so I like Cuphead. It's hard. It's harder than I kind of had thought. I don't mind the difficulty, but it's hard to stream it because I don't have any expectation of how long bosses will be. And so while I am perfectly 100% happy to just kind of like play one boss for an entire day, it is not the case that my viewers enjoy that. In general, I found that like 15 to 20 minutes is about the point where you know, it becomes a thing. The boss that I'm stuck on, the robot boss, I mean, maybe some people would disagree with me, but I don't feel like fair is how I would describe it. In most bosses in Cuphead, I feel like I'm learning, I'm making progress and everything else like that. In this particular boss, the robot boss, I have found that I feel like I'm just not making progress, and it's just too long. Now, it's not the case that it's doing anything that's like impossible to beat or anything else like that. It's just that it's very hard to keep it going for as long as that. And I don't know if like there's a trick I'm missing. Someone mentioned like, oh, you should have this while you're in an airplane, and I'm like, but I can't buy more weapons for airplane mode. And they never really explained whether maybe I was doing something wrong. So I should probably watch a playthrough of that by somebody else and figure out if there's some like overall design aesthetic of Cuphead that I'm missing, because if so, that would be informative. But overall, I mean, I like it. Some of the bosses have been, I mean, all the bosses have been a lot of fun. I love the art style, of course. I love the music. I love the gameplay is really well done. And most of the boss design, I'm really like, I'm a fan of. I think they did it really well. But well, yeah, so the airplane levels are managed with a completely different set of skills. You don't shoot with the weapons that you buy from the shop normally. And someone mentioned something that maybe you do, but I don't know. I didn't really understand. And then, like I said, they didn't explain themselves. So it might be that I misunderstood something. I don't know. Yeah, well, so that was my question, Jose, is like, I can't use these other weapons on the airplane. Like, I can't get upgrades for the airplane, and they didn't answer. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. If loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be right. There definitely is at least one upgrade, but you get it by, you know, getting far enough in the game. Oh, god damn it. Okay, one. Get out of here. How did I do this before? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't come in down here. Oh, whatever. Oh, right. I walked through. I remember now. That's fine. Oh, I can't get over that? Alright. Fine. I thought I was stuck, but I was not. There we go. Boom shakalaka. I don't think I have forks and knives. I didn't pick them up on this run. Okay, LJ. I mean, that's good, because that confirms what I thought. And someone else was just giving me... They gave me a suggestion that, in that sense, did not make sense, so... Oh shit, spikes. What do you think the chances of that are, Ernie? Because I'm gonna go with low. Shit. Oh, god damn it. I went all the way, it just took me back to the same door that I already can't get through. Because I don't have a goddamn key. Or maybe I need a boss key? Oh yeah, so I need a boss key. Okay. So, who's the boss that I need to kill? Is it Dracula? Oh, no, there's the boss key. Okay. Oh, but there's like a bunch of boss doors. Did I pass up a key? Alright, so I'll go around again. Need 4, got 1. The evil flower. I didn't have a lot of problems with the evil flower. Like, I think the reality, Jose, is that this is maybe not your style of game so much. I think that you may find it a bit difficult. Alright, so the killing the Draculas maybe doesn't do me any good. Let's go this way. Rarez, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Alright, so I got 1 smaller skeleton key. I need some more. Yeah, so Rarez, we're just working our way through the game, so I've already demonstrated I'm willing to, if I get to the final level in a set before I would get a password and can't beat it, I will totally just be like, alright, copying a password from online. It's fine. You've seen all the levels. We're good. So I am, as always, a huge cheater in my gameplay. That's why we've got the CPG cheat emoji for all those out there. Oh, shit. Am I out of... Fuck. I'm out of fucking water guns? Oh, no. I just had switched away from it. Okay. Yeah. I'm a big cheater. Big cheater. Always have been. Always will be. Boop-a-da-boom. No, I mean, Jose, you're just not a... It's just not your style of game. It's alright. Alright, so what do we got here? We need some more skeleton keys. Ow. But yeah, I've never actually played Zombies Ate My Neighbors before. We were discussing earlier how it seems like this town has a problem of more than just zombies. It's got a problem with pretty much every creature. You know, you got Martians and and vampires and werewolves and zombies and everything else in between. You got people who clearly want to steal cheerleaders and so on and so forth. I don't feel like they should limit themselves to the zombies problem. I feel like it's going to be unnecessarily restrictive in resolving their overall conflicts. All right, what's this? This seems like a new thing. Nope, not a new thing. Have you tried playing the bosses on simple at least, Jose? Is it too hard even on simple? Which isn't like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, they're hard bosses. The game is designed to be difficult. There's no doubt about that. God damn it. Oh, fuck. Yes, let's go ahead and waste these things because... Oh, Jose, you know I love you. I can love you and still give you feedback about the fact that you're shitty at games, man. I mean, I can't beat... It took me a long time to beat most of the bosses on normal, so... I am not one to talk. Alright. Let's see what we can do here now. Excuse me. now, Ernie. No, Cuphead bosses are intentionally difficult. Like, there is no doubt or question that is the design of the game. I think it is very much in the style of the like NES style games that they are being inspired by. And I think it's totally understandable why they took that path, but I think that it certainly makes the game, you know, less easy and playable for a lot of people. I'm you know, lucky enough that I have had a lot of luck kind of training myself to play games, but like when I look at my early Mega Man playthroughs when I started this channel, I'm like amazed at how far I've come since then. It's not that I was bad then, it's just that I've gotten good at these types of games now, and the only reason I've gotten good at them is by playing, you know, stuff like this regularly. Like just having the opportunity to play old school, you know, retro games, making the time every week to do it, and that's not something everyone can do. I'm really appreciative that I have a job that allows me to, you know, have the time to run this channel, and that I have, you know, such a great community that makes it fun for me, so that I'm here every week and hanging out with all of you. If I didn't, there's no way I would be good at these games. There's no way I would be even moderately successful. There's no way, like, yeah, I haven't beaten everything in this game. I've bailed on a couple of things because I'm like, nope, I'm just not going to do that. But by comparison to what it would have been had I played this game, you know, 2 years ago, like, it's tiny. It's nothing by comparison. Why did I just walk into that? That's stupid. And yeah, like, certainly the Cuphead bosses are designed to be kind of figured out, but they require a certain level of rote memorization combined with a certain level of you know, ability to quickly react. They're hard. They're hard bosses. And there's no doubt of that. Okay, so at least I got 3 keys this time. I didn't get 4 like I guess I need. Oh, there's a 4th. Please don't kill me. Yes! Woohoo! Well, and I will say that Cuphead, like other modern retro games, you know, Shovel Knight and everything else like that, does the things that, you know, are nice to have modern games do. So although it is difficult, it is not obsessively so. It doesn't force you to do a lot of restarts. It makes the restarting process quick and easy. It does. You know, a lot of, there's a story associated with it, and of course it's freaking beautiful. You know, the cell animation effort that went into that project is just so impressive. And so someone was talking about like the level of, the number of frames of animation on a lot of these bosses and how massive it is. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, there's just a ton of animations in every single frame. Or every single boss, you know, that they just did so much to make this happen. I don't have any soda cans. I got nothing. I got nothing. All right, let's eat some burgers. At least get out of here. I'm not gonna blow that up right now. Yeah, the backgrounds are watercolors, the foregrounds and animations are done in, you know, a style of animation that is hard to find anywhere these days. I mean, this is one of the things that I've always been kind of sad about, is I would love to have, like, YouTube have more, you know, old Tom and Jerry style animations, not stolen from Tom and Jerry, but done in the modern era. But the reality is that, like, while Cuphead has done that, has made that kind of animation a thing again, like, you don't see it in animations and cartoons and other things like that. And I realize it's super expensive. I realize all the reasons why providing things like this is almost impossible. And the fact that we have Cuphead basically comes as like a gift from, you know, the gods of determination. Oh man, that werewolf so wanted to grab her. Nice job, Jose. Congrats. No, B's good. B's better than my grade on that silly flower, I think. The horror of floor 13. A C- is a good grade in Cuphead as far as I'm concerned. Although I don't think you can get that on normal for most things. I think just being on normal gives you a little bit of a boost. And so... lots of keys. Lots of keys. Big money, big money. Not going in that top thing. There's nothing in there. Let's go this way. Yeah. No, I totally understand. Don't get me wrong. I know. I would say that simple is the way that I feel the game is. Like, I know that you can't beat the game on simple, but, you know, I played through all the bosses on simple first, and I think that it helped me learn a lot, and it also, like, playing through them on simple lets you, like, go further into the run and gun levels, and if you can go further into the run and gun levels and get some of the coins, I know you have to finish them, which I know is not always possible, but if you can get some of the coins in the run and gun levels, you can use them to... you know, buy weapons that will help you do better even on the earlier bosses. And so using later running guns to, you know, fund yourself up for earlier bosses is totally legit, you know, playstyle. And I would recommend considering that if it's possible for you to beat running guns. But a lot of them are hard, you know, they're just hard levels. I did not see you, stupid rat. Spider. Spiders! Well, shit. And now I'm dead. So, Riras, did you play Cuphead if you're still around? I don't know if you're still here. Alright, XLZG, or we could put in my other password. Is that level 29, I think? Yeah, YLZD. YLZD. End. I guess I would be interested. I saw a more shocking than level 28 zombie house party. I think you also have to take no damage for S rank. I could be wrong. I was kind of hoping this would have at least 3 neighbors left, but apparently they did as bad as I did in creating these passwords that are on this random website I looked up. Oh god. I do know that IOPred, who's another developer on YouTube Gaming, has like 105% completion on the game, and I guess that you get there in part by doing, you know, all things on hardest difficulty and not getting hit and doing. Oh, you also have to do it fast, so time is part of it. So you have to do it. You have to do it quickly as well. Ah. Oh, was there a dad chilling in the pool? Did I totally miss him? I mean, he is one of the neighbors, yeah, is the dad just chilling. I mean, they're all like doing it. Like, the teacher is more concentrated about giving me my failing grade than doing anything else. You got all these people who are just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna chill out here. Can I blow up these doors? Is that a thing that I can do? Yes. Fuck. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah. Dad don't give a fuck. Just be like, yo, who cares about zombies? I'm pooling. Oh god. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure that our next creator communication is prominently placed, so I think that we'll probably be doing a blue bar in the creator studio for all creators, at least all English language creators, to keep them informed of things. Oh, you can blow up any wall with a crack in it. Interesting. Okay. I've only got 5 bazookas, so I don't want to do too much, but I don't really need that. Could have used something more useful instead. Pretty sure those are all randomly placed. God damn it. Alright, well, I guess I'm down to 1 neighbor, and they're probably gonna get killed because I have no idea where they are. And someone's gonna kill them before I get there. Let's go and grab these shoes. Oh, fuck! Okay, good. That is a good beer. The horror of floor 13! Save the cheerleaders, save the world. I love that show. I didn't know if I don't remember really loving like the last season of it. Like so many shows, it probably went on for a little bit too long. But goddamn, Heroes was good. Was there 2 seasons, or was there was like 4 seasons total, wasn't there? The first season was great. Season 1 was great. It was just It was solidly good in every way. Okay. I'm not crazy. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't go well. Oh, guess I can't destroy the bookcases that way. Good to know. Hello, Nixie! How's your streaming been? Skyrim and Fallout I saw. Ah. Gotcha. Hello, hello, hello. Anyway, yeah. So, has anyone besides me? I assume no one besides me watches Gold Rush. I have watched Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell is another one of my, you know, one of those shows that I like because, so, when I'm watching shitty reality TV shows, there are a couple of categories that they can fall into that I enjoy. One is, like, people who are doing hard work, but they fail so badly that I can just, like, laugh at their failure. Because, like, they're just incompetent at what they do. Because incompetence is funny. I can also watch people who try to do something and succeed. That's fine. Where I have problems is when people try to do something and they work really hard and they're, you know, good at their job and everything else like that. And they're working for, like, a shitty, you know, job, but they're going to get a big payday or whatever. And then, like, something completely out of their control goes wrong and then they fail. So, like, I think American Loggers or something like that, they kind of followed this team, and all summer they had been kind of working on logging this claim and blah, blah, blah. And then this huge, like, completely freak rainstorm came through and trapped all their gear in a place where they, and all their like, summer's worth of logging in a place where they couldn't get it. And these are guys who work 10 times as hard as I do, you know, doing physical labor all day long. And all they wanted to do was make, like, a living wage for the summer. Like, that was their entire goal. And yet here they are, and they've been completely fucked by something totally not in their control. That was frustrating to me. Like, that is really hard to watch for me, because I just can't, you know, like, it sucks. It sucks to be in a position where everything is terrible and you can't do anything about it. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. They made no mistakes. Well, they're gonna get it anyway, so. Oh, wrong one. And so, like, American Loggers for me was one of those ones where I was like, nope, can't watch this because I can't watch people like suffer out of like suffer to fate, and not because they're idiots. Like, that's shitty. And so I just stopped watching. I also watched Swamp Loggers for a while. Swamp Loggers was pretty good, but they were successful, right? So they had a guy leading their team who was pretty good at what he did, and he got them in and out, and they made money. You know, they all went home with paychecks, and everybody was happy. It's really these, you know, these ones who they have to go home broke and tell their wives why they've spent the whole summer working on something that they're not going to get paid for. That I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even imagine dealing with that situation. Shit! She's not even on screen. How the fuck am I supposed to get to her? I mean, the answer is have more than one neighbor, I guess, but... Hello, Leif. How was your movie? If you went? I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Actually, you know what? I do know what I'm gonna do here. Given that I need to be up with my lovely wife at 5 in the morning in order to drive to her operation, and it's 12 o'clock at night, and I am no longer making progress in this game at the moment, it is time to consider it fate and go to bed. So I am going to pack up and call it done. Thank you all for being here. I will see anyone who wants to hang out this Friday. We'll be continuing Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I'm really loving. I'm looking forward to playing more of the game. I'm going to maybe go around and complete some of the side missions and pick up some extra XP while off stream. I am going to be off all this week, so there's a possibility that there will be various things that I'll pop up and let people know. You know, whether it's a stream or a social watch playlist or something else like that. My guess is that you parked your car where you parked it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Thank you, Ernie, for the advice. Thank you for hanging out. It's been fun. It was a fun night. And I look forward to seeing you all on Friday, where we will continue to do more of the same. Gaming, having fun, chatting, and talking. Thank you very much. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye!